Hey team, we have so much we need to talk about today. So by now you're going to have heard Nintendo have announced the 3.0 update for Animal Crossing and people are freaking out. I'm freaking out. Are you freaking out as well? Let's all freak out. Lots to cover with that, obviously. We're just going to kind of chat through some of the things they're introducing while we're playing. And also, one other thing. So you may notice that some things have changed on the island. This is the second episode, do not get confused. You'll notice our name has changed to Brindleton. And this is because I could not reconcile with the two rivers on the bottom. I had a complete panic after they announced 3.0 and I was like, no, we have to make the perfect island. We don't. Don't worry, there's no stress. But I wanted one that I was really comfortable building on. So we have got some changes. I'm okay with it though, because we got my two favourite villages when we started. So obviously we have Hazel here. She is amazing. That was awful. She's amazing. Oh gosh. And then I'm sure we'll see the other one in a minute. I'll keep it as a surprise. You didn't really miss anything. I just played through the first day again. I didn't want to upload another video of you just watching me rack up the Nook miles again. Also, 10 points to you if you spotted that the name Brindleton is named after Brindleton Bay. Why is that so hard to say? Brindleton Bay in The Sims 4, which is from, obviously, the world from cats and dogs, which I thought was kind of suitable for an Animal Crossing island. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to make my way along the beach to where Blather's tent is. And then we've got all of the fish and bugs and stuff to hand over. So that's going to give us plenty of time to start chatting about the new update. It literally came out of nowhere. What was it, like a random Thursday morning? And I opened up my phone and it was like some kind of fever dream. And we're all sharing this like insane thing that's happening where suddenly Nintendo are blessing us with more updates. How crazy is this? I honestly don't think anyone saw this coming. If someone had said it was coming, I think we would have called them crazy. Nintendo told us specifically there were no more updates coming, and now we have this. So I have some theories though. We'll talk about that in a bit. No, we'll talk about it now. Okay, so I suspect that this is like beta testing features for the new Animal Crossing game. I know we're only getting features. We've got to stop talking about the new game. That's got to come at some point, surely, right? But it just makes sense to me that they're putting in like a lot of multiplayer stuff just so they can kind of test it out and get a bit of feedback on how it would fit into a future game, which will come at some point, probably in the distant future. But anyway, yes, I'm hugely grateful for a 3.0 update. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought it was coming, and now it is, and I'm just so stoked, so stoked. One thing I thought was a little weird, and enough time has passed since they announced it for me to, question a couple of things. How did you feel if you played New Leaf when you saw Captain and the hotel building before they said it was a hotel? I assumed that we were getting the mini games from, Captain's Island. So to not have that was a little bit strange. I had this huge excitement and then it was kind of the rug was pulled. So that was a little weird. But I'm not going to complain because it is new content. And I think especially if you didn't get the DLC, it's great that you get this extra gameplay with it for like no cost at all. Amazing. A bit weird if you do have the DLC because it feels a bit like rehashed gameplay. But I'm fine with it because we're going to get new items. So I'm really excited to see what the new hotel stuff is. I did see a lot of new rangers in there. Was it the Artful one or something like that? So yeah, tons of like new stuff to check out, which I'm never ever going to complain about. I think that's awesome. I also have a lot of questions about the tourist thing. So obviously you can invite tourists by Amiibo and presumably make them rooms. Do they stay in those rooms like indefinitely until we tell them to leave or replace them? Do we have the option of like inviting them to our island if they just show up randomly, not with Amiibos, because obviously you could just invite them anyway, but if they were like to come in, could we invite them to be actual residents on the island as well? Probably not, because we asked that question with Happy Home as well and it didn't work. But these are all things that we have to consider, I feel like with the 2.0 update, they told us a lot of stuff, but then there was a lot of other things that they didn't mention that were snuck in there as well. Speaking of sneaking stuff in, you must have spotted the what's it called? The crafting multiple items at once. For some reason, I can't think of the term right now. But I was like freaking out, and they didn't even say words about it. They just showed the images of it, and we had to deduce it for ourselves. And I was just, it's about time. If you make fish bait in this game and you've had to make 50 of them one by one, like, yeah, it's cool that you want to make 3 dresses at once, but do you know what? Fish bait. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I've gone a bit off of track. What else did they mention? Oh, the expanded home storage. So obviously these are going to be horrifically expensive upgrades to your house, but obviously more storage, great times. And it's cool that you can add like the trees and the flowers and stuff. So I suppose once you've got like one of each flower, you could put them in your inventory and not have to, have a dedicated display to them on your island, or just keep backups of stuff just in case. So that's great. 10 out of 10. Do you know what? It takes so long to hand these things to Bladders that we could talk through every single new feature coming to Animal Crossing while we do it. Okay, thank you, Bladders. How far have we got? Okay, there's still plenty to go. Oh yeah, hopping across to another subject for a second. I hope that you guys are okay that I reset the islands like that. I just felt so weird about the 2 rivers on the bottom, and I spent so long like in my head trying to visualize what we could do with them, and I felt really weird about it. I had this like horrible feeling inside, and I thought, okay, 3.0 is coming. We're going to want an island that we can progress all the way through and be really comfortable with and have an awesome time. So yeah, I did the reset. I did it. I promise I won't do it again, though. I swear, cross my heart. You understand. Do you understand how hard it is to find an island that you're happy with? But the weirdest thing, right, is when, after obviously you do your flyover and you land, and I had my 2 favourite villages, which is weird. I swear they were my first villages that I had on my first ever island in New Horizons, and I had them again, and it was like this weird sign. When the heavens opened, and I had my perfect villages and an island that I was happy with. I do have, I think, is it cherries, not apples? So not 100%, but obviously I can deal with that. And it was only 1 day in, so there's not a huge loss of progress. Anyway, don't get confused. Still the same series, just completely different island. Day 2, here we go. Okay, so what else are they giving us? Oh my gosh, and Resetti. This is going to be so great. Having Resetti be able to like clear up, you can do the whole island, and he'll just put away everything that's on the island neatly into your inventory, and you're never ever going to have to walk around collecting everything and going backwards and forwards. Or I suppose we did have the storage things, what are they called? You know what I mean, the shed that you can put stuff in. But just the fact that you can click on him and just have everything cleared away is going to make it so much easier. One thing I wish though was that you could reset to your original like landscaping. So if you landscape the whole island and you flattened it, you could go back to the original like layout of it. That would be incredible. I think that's probably impossible for them, and obviously will not come in this update. Otherwise they would have sung them from the rooftops. But yeah, incredible that we can do that. Super thrilled, and obviously it's lovely to see Resetti. I assume he's not going to be on our island all the time, that he'll be walking around like Harv or something on the early days, and then he'll just be an app on your phone that you can pull up. Okay, yeah, so secret out, Bam is the other villager. He's my good blue jock boy. Love him so much. Was thrilled to see him in the trailer as well. How cool were the villages that they had on the island in the trailer? I was really impressed. I wanted all of them. And quickly, while I'm stopped, let me just pull up the map for you so you can have a look at the one we chose. It always drives me crazy when people don't show their maps. Anyway, here we are. Look how great it is and wonderful. We even have a little heart pond at the back. I don't know if we're going to keep it. We probably will. I don't want to terraform. It always makes me feel a bit weird, especially when you fully flatten it. But yeah, and then you just never get that natural feeling back. And I feel like we should probably have a natural island for this. I'm conscious of how quickly like an overcluttered island can make you feel, just a bit intense. I need to be able to breathe, and for us to be able to move around and shake trees. Very important. Need functional trees. Bam. Did you see me catch that wasp? That was impressive, wasn't it? On that note, I am just going to run around and shake all of my trees. I'm probably going to cut this bit out because before it was like a 1.5 hour video and so few of you made it through. So let's be a bit sharper with our cutting, I guess. Ooh, I do just want to check our mailbox as well because I did a light bit of shopping on our ABD with our meagre funds yesterday. So there should be some good stuff in here. Nothing too exciting, obviously, although we should be setting up the shop today, which is going to give us, obviously, ridiculous amounts of options. I can't wait to get Able set up as well. I can only apologise for my lack of cool outfits at the moment. You're just going to have to deal with really basic-looking thumbnails for a bit. I also obviously don't have any reactions yet. So yeah, I'm just making a very bland face. So thank you for clicking on what is a really boring thumbnail. I do appreciate it though. I was genuinely surprised by how many people watched it and commented on it. And this was before 3.0 was announced. So, you know, people just seem to still want to watch the game, still want to play the game, which I think is super awesome. I think Animal Crossing has always had a really awesome community. It's quite inclusive, obviously, and just people are lovely to each other, and we all just want to chill out and have a good time and, you know, have our little communities on our islands. So yeah, if you're one of the people who watched the last ones, thank you so much. That is so cool. Right. Oh, also, we have to remember this. It's going to be Bam's birthday on November the 7th. So please remind me. I would be heartbroken if I forgot to get him a gift. I don't know what we're going to be able to get, though. Hopefully something good is going to show up in the shop in its first few days. Otherwise, you know, poor Bam. Poor Bam. I will say, though, I don't like messing up their homes when they've got their original designs at the start of it before, you know, we've gone off and made it possible to redo their entire house. I do like to just give them fossils and then it doesn't change anything. And they love them anyway. So, yeah, that is a possibility too. Also, look, it's nearly Halloween. So everyone's wearing their Halloween, what am I saying? Halloween decorations? No, their Halloween costumes. This video is definitely going to come out after Halloween. So apologies for the jarring effect of seeing this when the celebrations are over. Just going to drag out Halloween for a few more days, get all the spookiness out of it we can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play the Halloween event when it's only 2 villagers and this early on as well. Or if I do, you're probably just going to have to run between the 2 villagers, one in their house and one outside. Get candy from one and give it to the other. Because I think maybe we'll only be able to buy 1 piece of candy if it's happening tomorrow. Let's have a look at what Timmy's got to offer. Because the 1 piece of candy for Halloween is so tragic. Oh, wait, no, first he's going to tell us the proposal for the shop. Oh, thank goodness we did all that chopping of wood before. It's such a pain. No, saying that the wood isn't so bad. I think the iron is genuinely really tough. And they knew that as well because they make the jock give you some extra iron as a bonus. I've got to think about where we're going to put it as well. I like the idea of having like a large area of farmland around it. So we'll have all our crops and we're going to need to plant like a ton of them as well. Because if we're going to be doing money the traditional way, we're going to need a lot of things like fruit and veg and stuff like that. Sea creatures are also great for money, so we've got to make sure that once we've got the shop open, we get a wetsuit. I know we can order one with our Nook miles on the ABD, but I don't want to spend it on them, you know. Oh, he's given us a shirt, some flooring and a party garland there. We're going to have to check them out. Let me just have a look at what he's selling though, just in case, you know, you don't want to miss them good. Oh, oil barrel. Yeah, see, we get 1 piece of candy and then, you know, while I'm filming this, Halloween is going to be, tomorrow? We also, look, we've got to pick up some pumpkins as well, get those in. I haven't got a chance of crafting anything good with them though, but obviously the money is going to be handy and it's cool that we can get them before we can get them off of Leaf first. How do you guys go about getting all of your money early game? Do you just spend forever fishing, late night, staying up till, well, early morning, staying up till 2 a.m? Oh, when this first came out, I said there were whole nights where I just didn't sleep. I stayed up all night fishing. Oh, it was madness. What a time, eh? Sea creatures, though, like I said before, sea creatures is solid. You'll be surprised by how much money you can get from that. So yeah, flagstone flooring there. I do want to check that out. Right, we've got to clear out some space in our pockets. Let's just give him What have we got? Yeah, little, no, not a huge amount. We got pears as well from our things. We're going to make sure we plant them. Yeah, let's just sell them these few little bits. Gosh, we are so low on funds right now. If I do any significant money grinds like that, I'll probably do it off of camera just so I can, chill in bed and play. Also, I suppose it is a bit like a conversation, us hanging out here like this. We could still have this conversation while I fish, but I feel like it's just not very entertaining for you. Let me know if you just want to hang out there and chat and fish for a bit. I think when we're completing the Critterpedia, we'll probably do a bit of that, but, not at this stage of the day, I think. Right, what we've got in here? Oh, day 2, 80 bonus miles. We've begun our streak. Okay, what have we got for our Nook Mile stuff? Right, I can afford the pocket organisation kit. Straight in. It's not even a question. We were already battling there for space and I had to sell off stuff, so that's in. Oh, back to 180 miles though. Why am I running around with an axe in my hand? That's so dangerous. Anyway, I just wanted to plant those flowers quick before I forget. What are they? Actually, yeah, so the back ones I think are red mums, and then we've got white ones down here. At the moment, I'm not too worried about getting the pink ones. I know we'll try and get all of the flowers. I am obviously most excited about green mums, I am. But yeah, for now, just some extra white mums spawning off would be awesome. All right, that's all sorted then. Although I do need to decide where we're going to put an orchard. See, around somewhere, wherever the shop is going to go would be great. But I haven't quite decided on where that's going to be yet. Possibly over there, actually. There's quite a lot of space. For now, I reckon, though, actually, we'll probably put them behind the house for now. Yeah, let's clear out this area, and then at least I can't forget them every day. Let's pop these away. Do you know what, though? I haven't got our shovel yet, have I? And we're going to need that. Yeah. Whoops. I can plant the pumpkins without them, though, so let's just get a line of those in. I'm not going to worry too much about an aesthetic layout to this. I'm just going to kind of dump them in. We'll do them in a straight line. It's going to make watering them maybe slightly easier. I don't know. We're only going to have the first level of watering cans, so we have to do each one individually. It's forcing us to slow down and enjoy life, Hang on a minute. Did you hear that? Can you hear that? Let me get my slingshot out. We've got to get as many balloons as we can. Hopefully I can get some of the Halloween DIYs, actually. That would be good. Where is this? Wait, hang on. Yeah, there's some of the Halloween ones. We won't be able to use them, but at least we'll have them for next year. Wait, I know it's here somewhere. I can hear it. Okay, go to the beach because it's usually coming across from that direction. Yes, shadow. Okay, oh no. How embarrassing. Okay, we got it. Hazel didn't see any of that. She still thinks I'm cool. Oh, clay. Oh, that's not even a DIY. Oh well. We'll probably use it for something. We've got to build the houses soon, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to get my chop on with the trees for a little bit. I'll do my usual cut this bit out and I'll see you on the other side. You guys, I forgot that the sisterly villager gives you a shovel as well. And you need to remember to get the iron off of Bam. Here, let's quickly grab the good shovel. We don't need our basic shovel. We're going to have a good one. Oh, thank you, my lovely. You're such a saviour. Honestly, I'm so glad you're here. This rock spawned in the stupidest place, didn't it? So I planted the flowers, but I think one of the rocks got destroyed on the first day and it's respawned here, which is really frustrating. We're not going to be able to get all of the stuff from it, but that's okay. We'll do it again at some point. I just want to get the bits and pieces for now as much as we possibly can. And our pill bug. Do you guys spend way too much time worrying about the distance between your trees as well? I've done them a little bit offset, so hopefully it should make, collecting them and shaking them just a little bit easier. I don't like it when they're too close to each other, Gosh, I have so many quirks like that. Maybe you're the same. Let me know if you're one of these people that has to think about the exact number of blocks between each of the trees. Oh, we got a ton of points here. This is great. And we haven't even finished talking about the update yet, actually. So these dream islands that we're getting, this is cool. I think especially for creators who, you know, do a lot of building, it's going to be quite nice for them to be able to have one island they keep and then use the others to kind of show off designs and stuff. I think that's cool, although I do worry that they're not going to feel alive, so people will still have the urge to reset their islands all the time. And that's fine, you know, whatever. Forever Islands, though, I feel like this is the future. It was the original, and the way I think it should be, I don't know. But everyone to their own, you know, play how you want to play. I will be interested to see how people use them, though. I think there's going to be a lot of content based around this, and we're going to get a lot of ideas. I'm interested to see how it works. And the multiplayer stuff, oh my gosh, it looked incredible. It's so exciting, especially if it works. You know, but it comes with caveats. We know what multiplayer can be like on this, but the idea of, you know, being able to hang out with your friends and build an area together, I think is just, that's the future of the game, isn't it? There's also the exclusive Switch 2 stuff, so being able to see your friends, their little faces above your character while they're walking around. To be honest, if I was using that, you'd just see my double chins, because I'd be in that crouched position while I'm playing. You know what I mean. No one needs to see that, honestly. I don't want to have to look good while I'm playing this game. How ridiculous. I am a little sad we don't get the megaphone, though. That was a staple in New Leaf, being able to find your villagers when they were miles away from you. And I get that they've done it on the Switch too, because you have the mic, so you can shout into it. But, you know, we can type, and is that not how we did it before? I don't remember how it worked on New Leaf, but it does feel a little bit sad that there's something that they'll have that we won't have. I don't have a Switch 2. I did look at the prices of them, though. I was thinking about it. Who knows? But, you know, I can't spend that amount of money just to have a megaphone. That's crazy. Look how cute they are in their silly hats. Okay, right. What are we doing? I can't remember now. We're going to hit some rocks. We're going to try and get the stuff for the shop. That was it. Oh, yeah, and the collaborations as well. How do you guys feel about this? So, obviously, we've had Zelda stuff in it before and all this business. I always feel a bit weird about inviting villagers that are, you know, based on other things. If you're not, like, super into that particular franchise. So, yeah, it's great that we're getting new villagers. Wonderful. I don't know if I'll be inviting them, other than perhaps just to look at their designs and stuff. It would be nice if we just had, you know, new villagers, but that's very much a new game sort of thing. I think I totally get why they're doing it. I get it. The Lego stuff, though. Oh, my gosh, you guys. How cool. Again, not my aesthetic, but it does look great. I think the items look great and they're really well designed, and I think Lego is probably chuffed after their collaboration to have this in the game as well. Just cool stuff, you know, cool stuff all round. How do you feel about the update? How are you feeling? I feel very excited that it's coming, and like I say, Dad's come home with the milk finally showing up again, and it's just nice to have it around and have it still feel kind of alive in a way, or at least feel like they're prepping for something as well. But I do feel like the content isn't what I would have loved. It's great to have it, not going to complain, but there's so many other things still that could be added. Like if it was obviously still a game that was being intentionally worked on, I feel like these are just very strange extras that they've added. Very strange. I don't know. Tell me what you think below in the comments, because I'm still wrapping my head around this one. I'm not entirely sure. I think the timing is insane that we decided to restart an island like the week before they announced this. Like, what are the chances of that? We did great on this. Someone commented the other day, like, that was the perfect time to start an island. You are so right, person. So right. It's weird, isn't it? I think there's going to be a lot of people restarting now. I think we've all got the taste for the game again, and you know, hopefully it's going to start to feel fresh again, and everyone's going to come back together, and we can pretend that, you know, it's 5 years ago. I'm not sure we want to do that. But yeah, hopefully it'll start to feel like, you know, a live community again. Loads of people will come back to it, and you know, we can experience a bit of love. Right now, I just need to stop being distracted because we've been blabbing on and I haven't actually really got anything done for this island. Look at all these shells, though. No money from these at all. But, oh, look, imagine. Soon there'll be something here. Yeah, no, so just shells are not worth any money, but I still feel the need to clean up my beaches every day. Do you do this? Is this a thing? I wish there was a greater reward than just Nook miles for my dedication to keeping the beaches clean. Hold on, have I even finished giving all the stuff to Blathers yet? Because there's all the fossils around here that I should probably dig up, but I feel like we still had some stuff to give to him. I'm doing an awful job of this today. I'm way distracted by the news. Sorry, everyone. All right, let's see what we can do. Okay, we have a fossil. We've done it, but my pockets are full. Great. Professional Animal Crossing player, everyone. What can we get rid of? What can I dump here and not feel bad about littering after I've just said about keeping the beaches clean? Weeds. No one will notice this bag of weeds. Let's get focused. I'm going to run over to Resident Services quick and we'll sell all these shells over. And then, yeah, we'll do a little run around of the island so we can check out the shapes that we've got to play with and get our fossils and get our lives in order, I think. I can't believe we've waited this long on this day to have a look around and see what we're working with. It's always a bit strange, isn't it? I think the back of the island ends up with some very thin areas. So I'm intrigued to see what we're going to be able to do with them. Let's just dump all of these shells. I really shouldn't have picked them up. It's just given us another distraction. Have any of you guys done a no terraforming island? And if so, how did you deal with the areas at the back? You know where I mean, where there's a cliff and then you've got a thin area of land in front. I feel like you have to view the cliff and that bit in front as like a whole unit and maybe treat it as something that's happening on 2 levels. Anyway, look at this cool shirt we got. Yeah, not the best item of clothing I've ever had in Animal Crossing, but it's giving us a change. So let's try it out for a little bit. My other half loves shirts like this. He looks great in them as well. Onwards with the exploring, though. This area to the side actually looked really cool. We have this huge tract of land here, and this waterfall behind it is kind of cool, actually. We've got this diagonal water bit, which we could obviously put a bridge on. I think a bridge is meant to be there, and then you've got the view of the waterfall behind it. It's quite an exciting bit. Do you see this? It makes me not want to terraform anything. And we could just hop over on our bridge here, and then see this is the weird small bits of land where it's either just going to be a long walkway or we're going to have to incorporate the top area into it. And we've got a little heart pond here. Hello, heart pond. See, that's very close to the cliff as well. How do you deal with a situation like that? Right, onwards with the exploring. I didn't see, I don't think, any fossils there. And then we've got a couple of areas here where we could have a bridge across. I think just on that flat bit, the diagonal bit, it wouldn't fit. I'm just going to hit this rock as well because I've remembered that we still need the iron and we're going to need an absolute ton of that. What have we got in this? Let's see. Joe, I'm not seeing any iron yet. Oh, God. Okay, a little bit. We've got a little bit. We've got 2 iron from that. Oh, you guys, this is going to take forever. I imagine we're going to have to hop over. We've got a Nook Miles ticket, so we'll hop over to one of the islands, and that usually gives us a little extra iron. If you're very lucky, you can do it just with the 1 ticket they give you, and you don't have to spend any more of your precious miles getting another one. I do think that I'll end up bringing Nook Miles tickets over from my spicy island. I think just that, nothing else, and then, you know, we're still going to have to work for everything else, but having the tickets just makes such a big difference. And having villagers that you like. I know having a bad villager is like drama if you're a content creator, and that's great, but just, you know, I want to enjoy being on the island, and maybe having someone that, you know, isn't a meme, is just a villager you don't like, is really distracting. This is a nice big area of land as well. Oh, one last fossil. I did think about the idea of, you know, if you keep the layout of the island really, really simple. So if we didn't terraform, and if I think of it in ninths, if you know what I mean. So if you draw lines, 2 lines down, you know, horizontally and 2 lines vertically, and you kind of work in areas rather than just looking at the bit of land you're on, that could be an idea. Just keep things very simple. You know, that's what I want. A nice big open island where we can move, where we've got functional things like our little farm. What have I got here to add to it? Nothing really. Oh, we should open this out. We're going to have to do paradise planning at some point as well. That's going to be a lot. What else did we have in here? Anything useful? Oh, this is a recipe, isn't it? We're going to have a little recipe there as well. Let's have a quick look and see if it's anything good. Oh, the wooden low table. That's okay. That's just like the basic kind of low, round, big table, isn't it? Right, so what else we got? Hazel, hello. I'm pretty certain this is going to be everything we need for bladders, if not more. So let's just go in and make sure that we fully, finished off the museum for the day, and then that's going to expand for us. Not tomorrow. It takes an extra day, doesn't it? But at least we'll be moving on it. There's so much to do with the museum, and obviously I want to have my coffee every morning from a Brewster. I think we have to wait till 3 stars anyway to get a lot of this stuff moving. Do you still use that space, the cafe in the museum, after you've gotten all the recipes from Brewster? Do you have like friends who come round and you sit in the coffee place and use the amiibos to invite people in? I obviously only really kind of ran in and got the recipes and bits and pieces, but it'd be nice just to hang out there. I do wish that we had the Celeste observatory and things. Again, all these things that could have been in the game that never were, and now I kind of have hope in a way that they'll be added at some point. I don't know, things like them popping in the megaphone means they do remember things that happened earlier. They know it should be there, they've just decided not to. Maybe there was something in their coding that's preventing them from doing these things. I don't know why they make the decisions they do. It's very strange to have new hope, though, for the game that we're going to get these things. I wonder what secret extras, if any, are going to come in 3.0. I imagine only very little things. They mentioned all the big things in the trailer, but it'd be cool if they snuck in a few extra little secrets that they didn't mention. Anyway, I think we're nearly there with bladders now. You can squeeze in one more wasp, and then I think I've got the rest of the fossils that we haven't assessed. We can just dump them outside and wait till the following days when we can hand them into him. I am very tempted to ask bladders for information about the fish and the bugs. Has anyone ever sat and asked and said yes to everything? I always thought there was possibly a secret unlock there, where if you got him to talk about all the bugs and fish, he would get over his fear, like we used to do back in the day. Anyway, I think that's all done now. We should be seeing that expand in the coming days. Let's just, wait, one more shell. I'll just dump all the extras just over here. I think there is a Nook Miles thing where we can get these assessed to get us some extra points, but we'll do that in a bit. We have lots and lots to do today still. Speaking of the Nook Miles points, though, how are we doing for them? Because I suspect we're going to need an extra ticket today. We're a little bit short at the moment. Let's see how many we can squeeze out. We've just naturally earned all these things. There we go. We've got enough for another ticket as well, and some to spare. We need to remember to update our titles as well. I always do it at the start and then never get any extras. Right, so we can catch some bugs and fish and things, just your standard gameplay. I do need to empty out this stuff in my pockets, though. Even with the extra unlock, we're already short at this point. Let's just go in and we can dump all this stuff. Oh, everything. This is the first time coming in the house. Gosh, we haven't even been here. Okay, yes, thank you, game. Yeah, all right, let's just push all these into place. They always look so strange in the middle of the room when you've just come in. We are a very brown house. Beige, I suppose, is the correct thing. Maybe orange. It's a very warm house. Yeah, we need so much stuff, don't we? Okay, let's just check out. Oh, it is quite cool. I don't know if I like the style of it. We'll change it out just for the moment, but it's cool. We've got it. I'll keep a hold of that one rather than sell it for now. We can also put away some other bits while we're here. All of these we'll probably use for crafting at some point, but we can get some extras. It's good to have backups at this stage, I think. So let's pop it all away. Also, I want to have a look at this garland. Let's chuck it on the wall. Oh, that's very high up. We can barely see what's happening. It looks a bit sad on its own there. Do you think we could get it to go over the window? Let's have a look. I think it's probably going to be too high on the wall, isn't it? Yeah, not in place at all. Okay, never mind. We'll just leave that there. And then quickly just drop everything else into storage for now. I'm going to regret this. I know I am. But, you know, we're going to need a ton of them to build the villagers' homes. When is it? Tomorrow, I think. So, yeah, I've got the acorns as well. We haven't really got any of the recipes for them. How would you guys feel if we just spent a whole day running up and down the beach, popping balloons? Not exactly quality content, but you guys know you can get so many good recipes from that. And it's really hard to get all the seasonal ones if you're not playing constantly. You know, you'll end up with one or two of them and miss out on the awesome stuff. My favourite being the pile of leaves, or the leaf pile. With the different seasons, you can get them with the different coloured leaves. That's the best. Okay, big moment. Let's go off to the island. We can get the iron, and also it gives us a first chance to see a potential new villager. Oh, he looks so cute in his Halloween hat. All our little witch. Right, so we're going to have to sit through all of the terms and conditions now. It always makes me laugh when they start talking about things that are not in the world. You know, when you go off to your dream island and she's like, let's connect to the internet. It's just so silly. They have to obviously use specific terms, so it just ruins the our little illusion, our little dream that we're living in. I am quite excited to do a proper little villager hunt as well. We do have to get the first 3 villages all signed in, don't we? You've got your lazy, your normal and your peppy villages. And there is some really cool ones, obviously, in that crew. And it's quite nice that you don't get to see the other villages. You get like it's like a shortcut. You can just see specifically. So once you've caught the others, I'm not describing this very well, but you know what I mean. It reduces the chances of seeing everyone else and gives you greater chances of finding the ones you need. Right, we're here. Look, we haven't even seen cedar trees in the game yet. We haven't managed to get as high as that on our island. Yes, thank you, Wilbur. We understand the terms of this place. Okay. Right, so shaky trees, and then we're going to get the dropped items from each of them. And then who's our villager going to be? Let's not do the slow walk. That's the thing YouTubers do. Right, who have we got? Oh, okay. See, now I'm not a huge Apple fan, but how classic, though, how original Animal Crossing from the early days is that? Oh, my neighbour's honking their horn now. Hopefully you can't hear that. Thank you, neighbour. We've got it. Okay, I think they've gotten over their road rage. Let's just make sure we pick up all these bits, and we've got to get our iron as well. But as I was saying, yeah, Apple, I'm not a huge fan, but kind of iconic from the early days. I think quite a few people had Apple. Her eyes weird me out a little bit. I don't mind the hamsters. Some of them are really cool. Maybe not Apple. Just a bit weird for my liking. I don't know who I'd go for the early stages. I mean, Lolly is just wonderful. It was good to see her in the trailer as well. Hard to find, though, because there's a lot of bunnies. A lot of not bunnies? What am I saying? Cats. Oh, my gosh. Who am I? Please don't have clicked off the video in those 2 seconds from my grievous error. There's a lot of bunnies, normal bunnies, but also a lot of normal cats, I guess, is what I was trying to say. I've got to make sure that I try and catch all the fish at the river mouth openings. I think this is a good time of year for it. It should be the sturgeon. This fish, I think, is probably too small to be the stress of fishing. This is just your bog standard tilapia. But there is sturgeons, I think, and they can be quite valuable, if I remember correctly. Right, let's keep on with the iron hunt. I should also do some of the old school island stripping that we used to do. We would come and, oh God, I've picked up a stupid flower, haven't I? Let's dump that quickly. Drop that on the floor. But yeah, do you remember back in the day before we had treasure islands and spicy switches all over the place? Where you'd come to these islands and you would spend so long on them, and you would chop every single tree and you'd pick all of the weeds. You'd get you'd even dig up the flowers and stuff. You took advantage of every single thing. And now I think we all just run on, look at the villager and run away again. We should spend a bit of time actually picking up the weeds and stuff. It's a good way to get yourself all the Nook miles. You get some big ones when you start having sold quite a few of them. Let's just keep on checking. Oh, yep. Okay, focus. Yep, we got him. These, if you're getting all your wasps as well, it's big money, you know. It's at 2,000 bells, I think you get for every wasp you sell. And the honeycomb, I can't think of what it's called. We'll say honeycomb. I'm doing an awful job of this, you guys. Why have I completely... It's here somewhere. There we go. Oh, yes. It was worth it, though. The rice grasshopper. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I think it was just about kind of harvesting your resources. I think it'll be interesting with the hotel if it's asking you to craft more stuff now to contribute, is you're going to have an excuse to come off and do your chopping and things again. A lot of people who've developed their islands, I think that could be a bit challenging for them. They're going to have to come across to these much more if they have and they're not restarting. To get all of the wood and bits and pieces you're going to need to craft those items and send off on the pier. So, yeah, are you guys restarting for this, or have you got an island that you've been playing forever and you're just going to keep going with that? I'm conscious that people may feel like there's a bit of a rush to get up to 3 stars again, but we've got plenty of time. I'm really glad that they've announced it with like months and months to spare, because, you know, oh yes, we've got what is it? A kitty litter box. Oh, it's a sign. We're going to have to get cats, you guys. I do have a story about a cat and this time of year, but I think it's a little bit of a sad story, so I'm not going to add it in. Oh my gosh, look at all this iron. Okay, this is going great. I don't know if we're still going to have enough, actually. Let's just grab all of these. But yeah, a few cats on the island could be a good idea. I do like Lolly. Everyone loves Bob as well. He's so colourful. But if we're not going with a theme, if we're just the theme is Animal Crossing, then we can get away with whoever we like. Are there villages that you love that you've never had because they don't fit with your theme? I have that problem. Bob is one of them, where he's so colourful, and I feel like, you know, people only let themselves have him if it's a kidcore island. But if, you know, nostalgia is our theme. This is a new one. Oh, it's so exciting to have a reason to go and catch all of the bugs and stuff. But yeah, Animal Crossing is our theme, so we can have whoever we like. Who are your favourite top 3 that you've always gone with at the beginning? I think on my first ever island, I'm pretty sure that Lucky was my lazy one. He's very thematic for the time of year as well. There's only one more day left that people keep him for, and then they get rid of him after that. But he's a classic, you know. Okay, we've got the Nook Miles points from this. We've also got enough for another ticket. Well, and truly enough there. And some extras that we can get as well. So I think we'll be okay. 23 iron, though. Yeah, we've got some work to do. Let's have a look. I think there were some cool fish that hung out at the bottom of waterfalls as well. Let's just make sure that this isn't a particularly rare fish. It's going to be a black bass, isn't it? I think we probably need to catch one of them for points, though. Let's have a look. Okay, that's all done. I did see a butterfly there on the other side that we don't have, but I'm not going to be able to reach it just yet. Maybe it'll come over to us. We also just want to grab some more of these weeds. No, that's just in the middle of nowhere. No point to that. Let's try again. We obviously will get the points for our fishing anyway. So let's just get that out the way. Deep breath, everyone. Okay. Oof. Do you get stressed out when you fish still? Is it just me? It's supposed to be the most relaxing activity. It's funny how we look for fishing in games now. There'll be quite serious games, not Animal Crossing, that we're playing. And if they've got fishing in it, I'm like, yeah, let's go with that game. I'll just spend hours fishing instead of actually playing the storylines. All right, we're doing great. I did get that monarch butterfly. Let's put it to the side. I always like to put them at the bottom so I know not to sell them. Okay, so we did get points for catching a black bass. And we've got to catch one more fish. Yeah, I've got to remember to go back and assess those fossils as well. And these. Okay, we're doing really well. We're having a really solid start, even though I'm kind of wandering all over the place and doing it in a nonsensical order. Anything else down here that we could use? Let's get this fish just as our last one for our points, and then we've done fantastically well. Yeah, as I was saying before about the fishing, there was an MMO that came out a long time ago. I'm not going to mention the name because the game was rubbish and really we shouldn't have supported it. But as part of it, you could have different kind of jobs, roles. So it was a fighting game, MMO sort of, battle together in groups. But you could have a kind of particular job in it, a particular role. So you could be like a fisherman, or you could be a blacksmith. And I love the idea of just going on and just being the fisherman of it and never doing the quests. And you would just supply everyone with fish. Also, you could fish up valuable treasure, which obviously was appealing. I could just, become rich off of my fish farming empire. Anyway, the game wasn't very good in the end, and I didn't do that. I only stuck with it for a little bit. With MMOs, you kind of rush to get to a high level, and then there's no one to go into the dungeons and battle with, because inevitably people stop playing it. We're going to grab just a little bit more wood and bits and pieces. I think we're going to need them very shortly. Also, I was just saying about taking full advantage of the island, so I've got to, live by what I'm saying. I'm conscious that in this bit of the video I start to talk very kind of slow and low in this kind of drone. I think, at the beginning of the video there's so much excitement, and by now we've kind of gone into this hypnotic state. Hopefully it's quite nice for you to listen to, like we said before, one of those late night Animal Crossing things. So we got a stink bug, that's a new one. Hopefully it's not too disjointed for you, where I start off all high energy and now we're in this low, slow, steady state. Okay, look, we've got a ton of stuff in our pockets. I also want to remember to sell all the fruit and stuff. I've got no space ever for anything. We're going to have to go back and get rid of all these things. I can squeeze in some more wood though, so let's just maximize our wood. I'm conscious that we're going to need so much of everything. I think we're going to battle to get apples. What did we have so far? Was it the pears, I think, that our mum sent us in the post, if I remember correctly? We've got cherries, and we're going to get one more, if I remember, from somewhere. I don't know why I've got that in my brain. If so, then I might need to bring over some apples from my other island. I just like having them. I know it's a weird thing, but they're just so cute, You do get some serious Nook miles for having all of the fruits. You get them, when you plant them, you get the extra ones. So always make sure to plant your fruits at the start, one of everything. If you get one of the fruits that comes on your island naturally, like with us it's cherries, plant that off early and you're going to get some extra points from that as well. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I'll put my axe away so I don't mistakenly attack Wilbur, and then we're going to head on back. Sorry, Apple, you didn't make the cut this time. I barely noticed her at the end of that. So Apple's just fading away into the woodwork. There's no rush to find our villagers from the start. I'm not sure how it affects progression. Obviously, we won't be able to get past her putting down the villagers' homes if there's no one to come into it. I've got to be careful and remember not to put all of the items in as well, or it's going to auto-fill it. That could be a nightmare. Absolute worst nightmare, that. Okay, so let's go drop off all of this stuff. It's like a constant inventory game here. I can't wait to get ourselves that storage shed. We'll put that right by the airport and we'll just dump everything in it all the time. Right, what can we get rid of here? A few of these we can actually sell, I think. I'm not going to keep the kitty litter box. That seems a bit silly. Those coconuts we've got to plant, but the clay can go away for sure. All this wood we'll dump in as well. We can always come and get it back out if we need it for anything. I don't think we need it today, though. I think it's just the iron that's left. So the great challenge. Right, let's go and sell this stuff, I think. And then we'll probably have to get one last ticket to get everything sealed off. Did I... Well, I can't actually. I'm gonna dump off this stuff that we need to go into Blathers. This is going to end up like a very big area of the beach, isn't it? I was a bit sad that I had to put it on the beach. There wasn't really anywhere at the front that I wanted to put it. And I do know that I'm going to end up building at the front of the island first. I say building. We'll do some paths and stuff. But I don't want to overcrowd that very front bit. And it is a bit tough that, you have to place the museum and two houses in that very front bit of your islands, which is strange. Okay, let's just go dump these coconuts around randomly. Look, this is a massive fish in the river mouth. This has to be the sturgeon, right? Okay, focus. Deep breaths. Everything is fine. No need to panic. Okay, oh. Okay, what are you? Were you worth it? Yes! Oh, yes. Okay, we got our sturgeon. We can put that straight down next to Blathers, just so I don't mistakenly sell it. I actually can't remember how much they're worth, but look how big it is. So I imagine it's probably worth a lot of money. Oh, I do miss the summer as well. We've got so long to go till we can fish up sharks. The big money, you guys. Okay, let's just hop on over. We'll keep going with the coconuts for now. Yeah, summer's a great time for a restart, actually. And you have a lot of reasons to go in and play. The fireworks was a really great addition, I thought. Although, there's a lot to be said about this time of year. Because obviously we've got Halloween, and then we're going to have Turkey Day, and we're going to have Toy Day as well. And then New Year's Eve. Gosh, there really is a lot to do. I do need to get rid of some stuff. Hang on. Yeah, so do you come in and play on New Year's Eve still? Even in the gaps where I'm not so engaged in the game, where I've got other things going on in my life, I do like to come in and spend New Year's Eve with my villagers. I've reached the point of my life where I don't want to go out for a New Year's Eve. That sounds horrible. Imagine trying to get home at 2 a.m. or something. Oh gosh, horrific. Yeah, let's look. We can sell all of this stuff. Do I want to sell the coconut? No, do you know what? I am going to go to the effort of putting them around on my beaches. I think, if I remember correctly, some of the beetles only spawn on coconuts. Or am I remembering that from another game? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I'm pretty certain that they would only spawn on coconut trees. Do you remember in New Leaf where you'd go over to Tortimer's Island? Do you remember that great thing that they could have added that they haven't? And you've got that island at the front, and we would chop away everything on the island itself, and you'd leave just the coconut trees on the outside. Top tips for anyone who's still playing that. And you would go in and you would make so much money in those beginning stages that they're just tidying up a little bit here. Okay, yes, stink bug, I forgot to place. Let's dump that as well. But yeah, you'd go onto that island and you would just go backwards and forwards all night. You'd have to do it in the evenings. There was a particular time that the valuable beetles spawned, and you would get those gold beetles, and you would have a huge amount of them. Right, these coconut trees, I'm just going to dump right in the middle here. I think about placing them a bit further back on the beach. But in all those videos, like I said, the video that plays at the start of the game is kind of inspirational, and they always have them dumped right in the middle of the beach. I like to have one here at the end of the dock as well. That's the kind of vibes we like. Thinking about it, I'd actually forgotten that, the Nook Islands, you can go off and come across ones like Scorpion Island, which I suppose is the equivalent now of what we had in New Leaf. For some reason, though, I think they're really, they do not come very often. Or maybe you've got to catch a certain amount of scorpions before it unlocks or something. But definitely I don't get it as often as I used to. And I think obviously it's not as easy to pop over to those if you're just doing regular gameplay without any spiciness. So it's a bit of pot luck when you find it, rather than the reliable one that you could go to all the time and make a ton of money. Oh, we have one more fossil that we've forgotten about. It was worth coming all the way here. Thinking about, you know what? I haven't seen Gulliver today, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be on the beach on the first day after. So when you get the shovel, you're also introduced to finding fish bait. But I don't recall seeing him. Should we just do a little run around and make sure? He's definitely not on this bit. And I think we went up the other side and we didn't see him. That's a bit strange. I think my game is broken. If this was The Sims, I would be very concerned that the game was broken, but maybe he'll come in tomorrow. I'm sure he will. We'll just do a quick double check. We're also going to have to do some big fish bait farming. I think to catch this stuff in the ponds, really, you have to have the fish bait. So there's no sense of just trying to do it naturally. They never spawn there. It's really hard. In fact, there's a little pond on this, and I don't think I've ever seen, yeah, the one at the front, if you see next to the villager houses, I don't think I've ever seen a fish spawn in there yet. Saying that, it's only day 2. There's definitely no Gulliver here, is there? That is weird. Okay, right, what am I doing? So we've got all these shells again. Goodness, my endless collecting of shells. Okay, I'll just finish by putting the coconuts on the other side. Now, see, I'm trying to remember what the items are that we get from Gulliver. I know Gulliver has the cool pirate stuff, which I like to get. Have you ever managed to collect everything from Gulliver? Oh, God. And you know what? We're going to have red as well. We're going to have to try and complete the art collection. There is so much to do in this game. I don't know why we all just turned it into like a building simulator. And there's so much else that we can do. Have you ever managed to like completely decorate an island, but also do all of the extra stuff in the game, like Red and Gulliver, and, you know, unlock the museum and things like that? I feel like, gosh, that's the ultimate challenge, I think. Okay, last few coconuts. Should I do one on the other side? I don't think I can be bothered to run that far. Let's jump over. Oh, I can't wait to have bridges. I'm just going to grab a few of these because I think we might need to dig something up in a second. What else? Do you know what? We'll plant one of the cherries and then I'll dig it up again immediately after. But that's going to get us a sneaky few extra miles because we did just unlock the ones for planting the coconut. I'm pretty sure you get some for that. Right, let's have a look. See, we're nearly at enough for 2 more Nook Miles tickets. I should really save these and then we can use it to buy some cool hairs or something like that. Should we go with a colourful hair in this one? I never know whether I should, you know, have a character that looks like me or we should just go full out with the design. I do like seeing, okay, so in the trailer you'll have seen this, they always have a character like this who looks like the original Animal Crossing girl or boy. They have that like pointy hair that's a bit helmet-like, and I think they usually dress her in pink, which is cute. And I do like the idea of dressing up as the original Animal Crossing character for this. That's something we could try. I think we should also just change around the look quite a lot. The look. We can try out some different outfits, different hairs. It'll be a nightmare for thumbnails. Oh, there's a thing here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, we could try out some different looks and see the sorts of things, you know. It's just, yeah, like I was saying, nightmare for thumbnails. You'll never recognise that it's me, but I'll keep the same title on the front, maybe. Oh, skull door plate. That's a boring one. Okay, right, we'll sell that. Unless we find Lucky, which he can have the skull door plate on the front. Oh, we got one for getting the balloons now as well. This is going great. Now, should I transfer us over some Nook tickets or should I spend the money? The points, you know what I mean. Okay, right. Spicy Switch is playing up today, so I've actually gone inside and spent the points to get us another Nook Miles ticket. We need 7 more iron, and I think we could easily get that on another island. Okay, and we get to have a look at another villager. Let's just hop on over. We're also going to get to see our good dodos in their silly Halloween hats. Always a good time. Okay, right. So, now listen, mate. I'm going to need some quality iron. Take me to one of these valuable islands with their rich mineral resources, please. Do you remember when we tried to convince the dodos to take us to islands that had good villages? Like the game would have any idea what we considered to be a good villager. I don't know if I don't think the game ever recognised a tier system to its own villages. Each one is equal in their own right, but we thought that if we did certain emotes at them, then they would take us to particular kinds of islands. God, we thought some really silly things, didn't we? We all gave up then and decided to invest in amiibos. Although, oh look, yeah, peaches. Okay, so that's our third of our good fruits. So now this does mean that we're going to have to go around and collect all these peaches because this is going to be big money for us. This is oh gosh, wrong way. So yeah, peaches, great. Our sister fruit is always huge money. Oh, is that What's her name? Is it Bertha? I want to say Bertha. I'll feel terrible if that isn't her name because it does sound like a bit of an insult, their name. All right. Yeah, so we do need to run around and grab... Do you know, I'm looking at her and actually she is really cute. Yeah, it was Bertha. I was right. Her look is actually really good. That blue and that pink together and her cute little teeth. I wouldn't mind her so much, you know, and her rhino hair is, you know, it's always weird, but it is cute. She's got a really good design. I think for like summertimey or cute, like Pinky Island is great. Or obviously our, you know, Animal Crossing themed island. She's going to fit right in. I do think for the moment, though, there is a lot of other normal villages that I'd quite like to see, but I wouldn't mind her. She would be all right on our island, I think. Okay, so we got the big harvest to do now. I am going to try and get all the weeds so we can get the points. I'm not going to go, you know, extreme on it, so just bear with me while I run around and randomly grab bits from everywhere. This has got me thinking as well. Do we want to have one core fruit for the island, like we'd have an apple island or a cherry island? Or should we introduce other fruits, maybe in different areas? Not like wildly different fruits all around the island, that's crazy. But like have an area that would be peaches or an area that would be pears. You know what I mean. What do you do with your fruits? Do you just have, you know, your starter one? These can be quite valuable, obviously, though. Right, I'm just going to grab maybe a couple of mums as well, and we can plant them at the front of the island. It'll be like our first decorating. I know we're going to have them spawning soon, but yeah, I feel like you can never have enough mums on your island. Look at all the iron that we just got. Yeah, this is great. This is exactly what we needed, and then we're going to be able to get the shop done. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's taken me about an hour to get to the point of getting the shop finished. Like I say, there's no rush though. We're supposed to be having a chilled out version of Animal Crossing. More shells for me, obviously. Should rename myself as Shelley. That's not my real name. There is also the question of, you know, when we're talking about the different areas of the island. So I like the dirt path that comes in the game. I think it has a really nice feel to it. But there is also the stone one. Now, do we have different areas of the island that has the different sorts of things on it, if you know what I mean? Or do we keep it as one general kind of thing across the island? Like we could use the dirt paths, but then have stone areas that are more like courtyards. How do you deal with these things? I feel like the trick is going to be just to try everything and to constantly be changing stuff. So adapting areas and growing areas without having a huge amount of recipes at the start. We are going to be limited, but in a really nice way, as to what we can do with each area. So I think, you know, obviously we're going to have a lot of the wooden furniture that gets introduced at the start when we do the villagers' houses. So there'll be a lot of wooden benches. Hopefully we get those. You do have one or the other, don't you, at the start, if I remember. You unlock certain recipes where you get either the nice wooden clothesline or you get the horrible metal one. I think that gives away which one I'm hoping for. Yeah, look, tons of iron. This is great. But yeah, so we're going to have to see what the game decides to give us. I will be upset though if it doesn't give us nice items. Okay, hopefully we should have plenty enough stuff by now. I do want to check. Oh yeah, look, so we've got a recipe here as well. Also, if I was to bring us over some Nook Miles tickets, if I can get the spicy switch to work nicely for me. That one's from Roscoe. Roscoe's given us the raccoon figurine. This is possibly the most ridiculous recipe in the game. I think we might have to make one. I don't know if the item would stay on the island, but it's so ridiculous and kind of iconic that I think we should make it. But yeah, as I was saying, if we do manage to get some tickets over, then obviously we can do a little bit of a villager hunt, which is always fun and lovely to watch. I did used to love watching hours and hours of villager hunting. But then you also get the recipes that are going to be on the beaches, and you can get a pretty solid, good collection at the start. So that could be a potential idea for us. I just need to figure out a couple of technical issues. If you have one, you understand. Updating these things is difficult, and I think they've updated the game quite not recently, but you know, this is a different version. Anyway, I shouldn't talk about those things. I have got very full pockets. Let's just dump some stuff and then look at this fish that wants to be caught. Oh no! Oh, okay, the little one's gone for it. Yeah, it scared off the big one, which is the one. Oh no, it was totally worth it. Oh, we got the beta fish. Beta fish. I'm going to go with beta fish. They are beautiful, aren't they? I think people have them as, obviously people have all these things as actual fish, but that one I think is a particularly beautiful and prized one. Okay, oh gosh, I've done a mess of these holes. This I think should be the last one. Obviously we don't have our ladder yet, so we can't get onto the tops of these islands. They're just going to put it there to mock us. How many iron have we got here? Oh, I didn't quite manage all of them that time. That was awkward. Right, so I'm going to grab all of these, and then I think we are so close to the end now. Yeah, look, we've got well over 30. All right, let's hop on over. And then we're going to have to actually make a decision about where we're going to put this shop. This is going to be a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Okay, right, let's get over. I can see Bertha coming over in the background there. She's like, are you sure you don't want to take me? I do think she's really cute, actually, but I don't want to rush the decision at this point. Many a time have I regretted my early decision making in this game. I definitely have a particular type of villager that I like. I'm the kind of person that would have gone with Coco, hands down, first time. Talking about Coco's hands, that's a bit of controversy. So yeah, I always kind of lent maybe more slightly weird, slightly spooky villages. But I definitely want something just kind of across the board. And I also think it would be nice, you know, if we didn't, obviously, we had favourites that we're going to keep, but we could switch some of them out. So, you know, we would have new villagers coming in all the time, affecting the dynamics and stuff like that. Right, let's sell off all this stuff I've got. We've got a good amount of fruit there. The sister fruit, that's going to get us some good money. I'm just going to make sure to remember to keep some so that we can plant them. I'm probably only going to plant about 3 of each one at the moment. And then when we've got some space, no, those mums I want to keep. When we've got some space, then we can think about like planting a much bigger area because we need the big money, you know. Look at that. That's more than doubled our bells at this point. This is going great. Also, I've got to think about whether or not I actually just want to upgrade our house straight away or if we're going to go right in to the turnip business, the stock markets. The earlier you can start investing, rather than just spending your money away, you know, use that money to make more money and then spend that money. That just, I'm just going to put these flowers here at the front. I have to work on a bit of spacing as well. Yeah, we'll make it symmetrical. 1 flower, 2 weeds. But yeah, the earlier that you can kind of invest your money to make more money rather than just spending it, the better. But that requires a bit of organisation and control. So that's a little bit challenging. Look at this. First decoration. It's not great. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. We're just making a start. All that stock market talk did remind me. So I've been watching recently, obviously, it being spooky season. I've been watching, or re-watching rather, the House of Usher. I'm going to need some cherries to dig up those trees that are in the way. So the Mike Flanagan House of Usher series, which was fantastic. Provided you're not very young, it is a good watch, but very much for adults. And he does a speech in it very near the beginning where he talks about lemons, when life gives you lemons. And it just absolutely blew my mind. I think it's just a fantastic bit of television. I won't spoil it for you if you do want to watch it. It's a really good watch. Just make sure you're old enough to be watching that show because it is dark. A lot of horrible, horrible things happen in it. Obviously, it's based on the Edgar Allan Poe stories, The House of Usher, and each one is, you know, it's hard to talk about. There's different characters in it that relate to different stories, I think. And then obviously Mike Flanagan has a whole Flaniverse of different things going on, all kinds of spooky things and based on Stephen King novels and stuff. Very good, very good. Obviously, everyone knows about it. It's not really a small, you know, crew, small world to join in, but well worth a watch. Okay, I'm making a right mess of these and I'm very fussy about my distancing. So let me just double check. Okay, there's 1 space between those and that means, yeah, this has got to come forward 1. And then we've got all our peaches planted. These are going to take a few days to grow, but obviously we'll have a constant supply. We've also got to make sure we don't dig up all the cherry trees and lose them. Right, we've got some extra points as well. Look, we've got solid points here. See this one? Now we've got 500 for getting those ones. And you get much more for the last 2 fruits, which I think is kind of impossible for us to get now without trading. Nothing else to get there? No. Okay. Right, we are so close now. We've just got to hand in. I love having little pumpkins there. It is nice that in the early game, it does still include things like that. So you don't entirely miss out on it by having a, an early start in this. My very young nephew, I think, has probably still got his tent at resident services. He's not very good at progressing the game. He's too young to understand it, really, or, Anyway, okay, right. So we're donating the iron nuggets. He's going to give us the shop now. This is really exciting, isn't it? I think the shop is definitely the one kind of building that really makes me think about having a huge area around it related to it. So obviously farming, I don't know, hopefully Leaf will show up some point soon and we'll be able to buy some of the vegetables from him. But yeah, I always think there should be a huge amount of stuff around the shop related to selling. So I'm thinking we're probably going to need a very big area. I do, yeah, that bit behind resident services, I'd be tempted to because it's kind of massive. And there's a nice little bit where we can, let's just hop over and we'll have a look. So there's a nice little bit, or maybe, yeah, over here, we've got this lovely area where we've got all the stuff behind it, but I don't know if I want this to be the store area. It's almost too nice. Almost too nice to have the shop. I don't know. What do you guys think? It would give us a huge area for planting, but I feel like we'd be losing out on the beauty over here. Oh, I'd still have no idea what to do with this section of it. We could put it near this heart pond, but I feel this is probably going to be more of a residential area. This bit, I think, is our most likely bet. Look, I've just left a mess everywhere. I'm a terrible animal crosser. So, yeah, because we have this big kind of front section, and then we can definitely have bridges coming in from either direction. This bit, what are we going to do with this? This, again, is kind of a strange shape. Sometimes I do like to have the shop near the pier at the bottom, which would be that bit. But this, I feel like this is going to have to be a couple of houses if we're not doing terraforming. I'm not committing to anything, or not saying I'm not doing anything for the start. But I think this area is huge. So before we've made any real decisions, we'll be able to at least just pop it down there and build some stuff around it. And I think here is probably going to be a good spot for a bridge. That bit's too small. Hello, Hazel. Showing a great time fishing. Right, so yeah, let's stick, I think, probably with this bit. Where do we want it to be? The front will probably be some kind of farming area or some kind of design bit. I don't know. So here would make the most sense for us, probably. Let's get some stuff out of the way so we can see what's happening. Where's that cherry gone? I'm also conscious that if we put it here, somewhere near it, we're probably going to do a staircase going up onto the next level. And I can't see up there yet, so I can't really see what's going on to think about designing it. Speaking of seeing what's going on, no! My good shovel! Oh, that's okay. We've got so much, was it hardwood we need for the shovel? Okay, so yeah, we'd probably have to do a staircase somewhere near it, but I can't figure that out yet. Let's just, for now, do I want to have a little bit of space behind it so we can maybe have like a fence or something, or a couple of plants? Quite possibly. Sorry, I know this is always a nightmare, but you can't see in my brain. I am visualizing stuff as I'm wandering around like a nut job. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to try and get it relatively... It's also tough because I don't know where it's sitting in relation to resident services. So it'd be maybe somewhere there. Let's pull it forward a little bit. So if I do want to put a fence or something behind it to give it at least a little bit of depth, we've got the option to do that without having to smash down a cliff behind it. Yeah, okay, that's more fitting. Doesn't need nudging left or right. This is what I was saying about being able to see it in relation to resident services would be good, because the whole island's got to kind of fit together, at least I think, in my brain. Okay, we've got the shop down. It's taken hours. It's taken actual hours, but we've got it down. Here, we'll clear out some of the weeds out front. And then what I'll do, actually, yeah, if we pop weeds behind it, then it means that the fossils won't spawn there, hopefully. And then I won't get confused as to why I can only find 4 fossils or 5 fossils in a day, depending on how many they give. Okay, that's great. And then I think for the early stages, there's definitely places where 2 bridges would come over on either side, and we'd have a nice little path in between. It's very much beginning of the game designing this. Don't think of it as the end product. I just want to have the whole island kind of, things spread out for it to be functional and still look okay. Not finally designed, we're obviously going to develop it over time. What am I doing? Okay, so I've got all this stuff I need to dump. And then I can also just quickly grab the hardwood so we can make a new shovel. I do always try when a tool breaks to straight away make the next tool. Otherwise, I'm always going to miss out on stuff. So we'll grab that quickly. And then I think if we just pop the rest of this stuff in, look how disorganized. Is there a button? I can't remember whether we ever, oh gosh, I've done that thing. If we ever figured out if there was like an auto sort feature on ours, I'm pretty certain there wasn't, but that would be nice, wouldn't it? Just a button you press and it would auto sort your inventory into categories, put all your tools together and stuff like that. Okay. All right. I'm probably just going to sprint over to Blathers again now, because I've got a couple of bits to pop there. We've got the beta fish, beta fish, and a fossil to dump there as well. So we'll put that in. And then we'll see from there. Is there anything else really that we need to do today? I think we've achieved so much. We've had an awesome day. And then obviously once the shop is open, then the Able Sisters will show up inside of it and we can get moving on that. Oh, it'll be so nice to have some better clothing, won't it? Until then, let's just, let me make that shovel real quick. Also, do you know, we should make the raccoon figurine. What do I need to make him? Just some clay. Actually, we always have extra clay. I feel like clay isn't used in a huge amount of recipes. Is there anything else particularly great in here that we need? I do like the log lounger. That table takes quite a lot of wood. And we do need the watering can as well. Let's just start with our shovel. I should have brought everything over. Why am I obsessed with keeping my inventory clear when actually it's much more convenient to keep some wood in it? All right, let's run out again very quickly. And then for the sake of having things, be functional and, making sense to us, I'm going to run over and just clear off that tree that's in front of the shop. And then it's going to, when you've got like a tree right in front of a building and you're running into it all the time, at least this is going to keep it open and make it feel like, it's an intentional area. I'm so wary of moving the trees, though, at the beginning. I quite like the idea of keeping them where they are and designing things around them, just moving as few of them as possible. I've also left all this mess everywhere. Should we actually go off and build those other things? That figurine is so silly. I don't know why I want to build it. Okay, I'll stop being a ridiculous hoarder. Let's grab out some... Oh, I've put the lights off. We should do some nice lighting for our home as well. We'll do the cool coloured lighting. I'm going to grab out, after I've been putting them away this whole time, I'm going to get out the useful resources and actually try and make some stuff. I know I'm going to regret this tomorrow when we're going to need about 1 million wood to make all the things for the houses. But what is Animal Crossing if you can't craft a silly item? Look at our 2 little villagers fishing together. It does bother me that you can't really talk to them properly when they're fishing, but they're enjoying themselves. That's totally fine. Okay, I do also want to make the watering can as well. I think some of the red mums at the back should be ready to do their bits. We should also make that workbench as well. The red mums we should be able to water at this point. They're on day 2, so they might actually spawn some new flowers tomorrow. And then, yeah, okay, we'll make the workbench so we don't have to come in here every 2 seconds. You guys patiently sitting through the loading screens every day. Anything else particularly cool? Yeah, we need the mirror so we can change up our hair. I do want to have a look at that, the original game hair, if that makes sense, what we were talking about before. I think it's probably a bit hideous, really, compared to some of the much nicer hairs they've added later. But there's something very nostalgic about it. Hay bed's cool as well. Let's see, we got the leaf pile there. So raccoon figurine, right? 6 clay. It's so silly. At least when we're doing, you know, that Happy Home Paradise later, we'll have that unlocked and we can do someone a home full of raccoons. Other stuff in here. The birdhouse could be cool just to pop outside someone's house, but we don't need it right now. Oh, we got points. Yeah, we had to do DIYs. Excellent. 150 Nook miles just as a bonus. Oh, and I need to do our stretching today. Also wants us to plant some trees, actually. That's our final double points. Let's pick up a cedar tree from Timmy. At least we'll have one at the front that we can kind of see. Oh, it's also going to be Christmas soon. Toy Day, sorry. Yeah, and in the winter, all the, you know, the cedar trees, they'll have their cool lights and stuff. They'll be nice to have kind of dropped around the front of the island. Should we start mixing up the trees on the island? Have some cedars at the front and hardwoods at the back? Or should we keep it traditional where they're kind of separated? So you got different feels to different bits of the island. This made me think as well, with winter, we're going to have the snow soon, which is always lovely for about 5 minutes, isn't it? No, I do like having the snow on the island. And we're going to have snow boys to make. God, there is actually quite a lot going on in this game, isn't there? I think I'm actually going to put the cedar tree right here at the front. There is usually the desire to have a tree just to the left and to the right of the entrance to resident services, isn't there? That's like a classic look to go for. So yeah, let's just plant one of these here. It'll be a few days till it grows. We've got our points there as well. Where should we put our tanuki, our raccoon figurine? You know, I am just going to dump it here for now. It's not even going to make it to the end of the day. Look at it. It's weird. Maybe if we made a kind of mystical foresty bit and there were like the spirits of the raccoons amongst the trees. Oh, wait. Yeah, can you hear that? It makes a weird noise. That's cool. I wonder what that's about. Right. That was particularly silly. Let's pop in and we'll pop the mirror down and we can start to have a look at our look. That was put really badly, wasn't it? Maybe we should design this character together. You guys can inspire us. I usually do keep the brown hair. I'm a kind of mousy blonde myself, but I like to pretend I'm a brunette. So, you know, I make myself that in here. Right, so let's switch on over. I also like this hair. That's probably the closest to my natural hair, but that bobby one, that one I love. I usually have that and some weirdly coloured hair as well sometimes. There is cool stuff in here. Do we want to change the colour of my eyes? The brown one is nice for like an earthy island. There's also this pointy nose is very much the early game vibe that we're going for. So yeah, that hair is the one I was talking about. And then usually you see, like in the trailer, the character has the pointy nose. The silly teeth. I don't know. It does look weird though, doesn't it? I do like the idea of having one that's inspired by, you know, the early game. But also, I want it to look good. I don't know, we'll mess around, we'll change things about and just confuse you in thumbnails, like I was saying. I do like that messy hair as well. I did have that for a little bit. But it seems a bit, a bit chaotic at this point in time. I don't know. Or this bob is usually my favourite. And we've got so many more to unlock as well. That's the thing when we've got their points to spare. That one I think we'll probably go back to frequently. But let's keep this one for the moment, I think. Well, you know, things will change. I'm sorry if you're upset by this look. Yeah, see, it doesn't look great. At this point, you know, we'll try. Okay, let's get our points. We're pretty much there now, I think. That really is all we want to do for the day. I'm going to do some stretching, which actually could be an excellent opportunity for an outro to the video. Anyway, thank you for dealing with me bumbling my way through this today. It was a bit chaotic. A lot of silly chat there. There is actually tons of stuff about the update we didn't talk about. The fact that you can play games, mini games within it on the consoles, that's really cool. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You're very patient to be able to sit through my rambling. I'm going to try and get the next video done as quickly as possible, but who knows? It always seems to take me days to get through this. They're very long videos. Obviously, we'll have the shop unlocked, but I'd like to do a kind of mini villager hunt. If we don't find them, that's fine. I'm not going to force it, but we can have a look for some of the cool villagers for the first 3 houses. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, I'm a teeny tiny channel, so if you want to like and subscribe, it makes all the difference. Thank you to everyone who did all these things on the last video. It was kind of crazy to me how many people seem to have a really positive response to it. So yeah, hopefully it won't be quite as long for the next video, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye 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 bye.